Hello, and welcome to the 2023-2024 school year. My name is Mr. Overbeck, and I will be the teacher for your asynchronous pre-calculus course. I want to kind of go over a couple things involving Canvas and also some policies for the class for this year. To begin with, what you're going to see in Canvas for right now is 1 week at a time. And currently, my Canvas course is combined with my in-person class and my asynchronous class. I'm working on getting that separated so you will have your own Canvas course, but right now we're combined. And what you can see is, again, 1 week at a time. So for this week, what we're doing is evaluating functions and 1.5 part 1. There will be some video lessons that will be posted later today. I'll talk about that all in a second, but I want to go over our syllabus right now. So I'm going to click on this one because that's the one for you guys. And as it pulls up here, we're going to go over some policies. Really important to note that because we haven't had online courses that much or asynchronous courses, all these policies are subject to change. In fact, we're going to be actively working on creating the best learning environment for all of you between myself and all the other asynchronous teachers. To begin with, though, we have your grade breakdown. This will not change based off your performance in the class, what grade you're going to get. Pretty standard for the most part. Your grades are based off of, at the moment, notes and homework, which are weekly, quizzes, tests, and then your final. And these are the approximate breakdowns for what everything is going to be worth. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the procedure. Each week, you're going to have a full week to do whatever we have for that week. There will be suggested days for when you're supposed to get things done. So for example, if I assign something on Monday, you should do it Monday, have it done by Tuesday. That way you're not waiting until the very end. But your homework for that week will be due by that Saturday. So for this week, you're going to have assignments on Thursday and Friday, and you have until Saturday to get them done. You'll see those assignments pop up later this afternoon when I have time to populate things, because your first assignment doesn't actually happen until tomorrow. All of the notes will be through video lessons. I'll be posting those in Canvas, and they will be linked in the assignment as well, because you'll be expected to watch the lessons, take notes, and then submit those notes to kind of show you're participating throughout the week, as well as your homework. I will also have other example or other resources from time to time, like Khan Academy or other YouTube videos that explain the concepts that I can find that I think are going to help make things a little more clear. For your homework, again, it is due by that Saturday. If you turn it in by Saturday, you're going to get full credit, assuming that you show work. And usually that work is what we've kind of gone over in the video lessons. Sometimes there's some other processes you can use. So as long as you're doing work and showing work, you're going to be okay. And if there's ever an issue with that, I'll put a comment on Canvas so you'll know that maybe this assignment needed more work, or these kinds of problems you need to show a little bit more work to make sure that you are getting the full credit and not losing points unnecessarily. Late homework is accepted. Depending on how late it is, will determine how much you get in terms of the points takeoff. Your participation, again, I mentioned this earlier, it's basically just you completing the homework and watching the video lessons. So you want to make sure that you are doing that and actively keeping up with the course. For quizzes and tests, this is an area where there might be a lot of change because I just don't know what the best way is to do this. But for right now, we're going to have things like Canvas quizzes, which is embedded in Canvas, Delta Math, and then occasionally I'll link some files that you have to download and then just work out on paper and print out and then submit your work that way. Again, to receive full credit for all of these when required, make sure you are showing all of your work as demonstrated in our lessons. Partial credit can be given out, but only if your work kind of follows whatever the problem needs, and it's not just you trying something that's kind of completely unrelated to the problem. For tests, this is another area that I'm going to need to kind of work on finalizing the policy. But for right now, you're going to be given a time window to complete the test. Now, this example is only an example, but let's say that I assign a test on a Thursday, and I say that you have a window from 4 to 7 to complete that test. That means that you can start at any time between 4 and 7. So the example I give here, let's say that you start at 5:15. You have from 5:15 to 6:15 to finish because you have an hour to finish the test. All tests and quizzes you will have an hour unless you have accommodations that say otherwise. If you started at 6:30, that window closes at 7. So now you've only given yourself half an hour to finish. Also, if you ever miss a test or a quiz, it is your responsibility to contact me and arrange a time for you to make it up. But you will be given something that is different than that original test because it's unfair to give the same test to somebody days after everybody else has taken it. Office hours. This is something that again will be subject to change, but for right now, we do have our Win Wednesdays, and so what I'm trying to do is offer you that same opportunity to get help. I know that everybody has a variety of schedules, and this might not fit with your schedule, but what I'm going to be doing, at least initially, is on Wednesdays during lunch or fifth period, I will be in my classroom room 306, and you guys are free to come by and ask questions about homework, have conversations about tests or quizzes or anything else that is regarding the class. If you are going to come by, though, please give me a heads up so I know. That way I'm not out of the classroom for any reason, making copies or in a meeting, or I don't have class after lunch, so sometimes I might just go home if I don't know if anybody's coming. So please let me know. If those options don't work with your schedule, then please reach out to me either through Remind, which you've all been enrolled in, or send me an email just to kind of let me know what your schedule is, and we kind of work something out that'll work out better for you. The final for your semester will be comprehensive, so everything starting from tomorrow until the end of the semester will be on that final. I can't tell you exactly what that final will look like right now. Again, this is kind of an evolving course, and as we get closer to that, I'll give you more information about what that will be. Delta Math will be used regularly, so you guys all need to make sure you enroll. If you haven't created a Delta Math account, make sure you do that. But you basically go into the section for students, and then you type in the code that I provided here, and that will auto-enroll you into this Delta Math course. Throughout the course, I just kind of expect that no matter what, you guys are being respectful to your other peers that are in the class. I don't want to hear of anybody harassing or being disrespectful to the peers that are in the class. If that does happen, then based off of how it's outlined in the student handbook, there will be some consequences, possibly a conference, just to make sure that things are, running as they should be. And then cheating, I know there are a lot of things that are out there. As we get closer to our test and quiz, I'll let you know what are approved things to use on your test and or quizzes. Anything outside of that that are used would be considered cheating. And if a student is found to have cheated on a test or a quiz, again, based off how things are outlined in the student handbook, it'll be handled and consequences will be given out. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of information as to how a class is going to work. Again, I mentioned earlier, my classroom is room 306. So if you ever have any questions throughout the day, feel free to stop by and ask. You can reach out to me through Remind or email. But look forward to your first official assignment tomorrow. Again, with the assignment, there will be a handout for the notes you guys can complete. And then there will also be a video lesson that you can watch and then complete the notes as you're watching it. You will be uploading those notes along with the homework, so make sure that you are following along and taking the notes. But that is it for now, and I look forward to hearing